Hello and welcome to another episode of The Top Shelf with me, Shantanu D, where today we are taking a look at another Lamy. This particular Lamy is one of the more underrated Lamies, if you ask me. It's got a bit of a conflicted opinion with its different sort of clip and its grip section, etc., etc. Stirs up a fair amount of controversy, at least in the fountain pen world. This is the Lamy Studio today that we're going to be talking about, and in particular, it's the LX edition. Now, at least in India, and you get this pen in this very simple box. It's cardboard box with warranty card where the pen rests and a cartridge, blue cartridge. And I also, in case you're wondering, got a converter with this pen. And here it is, Lamy Studio LX. I believe it's called the All Black. And really, this is quite something. It's quite a look at this pen. Lovely matte finished material, and in typical Lamy fashion, it starts off the top. It's like in a slightly thinner way. It's bulbous towards the mid part of the pen, and then it tapers down towards the back. The top has got this shiny plastic, and which is mirrored at the bottom, and of course you have the famous Lamy Studio clip, which I actually quite like, and I think it's a very well designed pen. Traditionally in Lamy Studios you have a metal section and a shiny chrome section, which is can be slippery, but this particular one has this sort of matte finish. It's fairly grippy. If you own a Lamy Ion, it reminds me of that. The grip section reminds me of that. Of course, the nib on the LX, I believe, is a different nib. It's called the Z52. It can still be replaced with the other Lamy nibs, but extra fine steel. It has this little white U outline towards the bottom of the breather hole, and EF and a black nib. And this is the pen. It posts really well and fairly securely and deeply. I don't know if you heard that, but it's a very positive click. Can be used, posted. I know it looks a little odd, but it is very comfortable. The weight of this pen is primarily in the back of the pen, not the back, pardon me, the cap of the pen. Overall, it weighs about 28 grams and very comfortable, even without posting, no matter what size hand you have. Right, let's take a look at the inside. It has it seems to have a plastic threads. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. It looks like plastic threads. Correct me in case I'm wrong in the comments, please. And here's the converter, which is loaded up with a very interesting ink, which we shall take a look shortly after we do the size comparison with our standard Lamy Safari. Right. Not much of a difference between the two, frankly. Of course, the Studio is slimmer. The Safari is a very singular shape and plastic, whereas this is a metal pen. Not much else to compare about that. The weight, of course, is a big difference. This is 28 grams. I think the Safari is about 20 odd grams. Right. Let's take a look at a writing sample which I have prepared for you in advance. As I mentioned, I've got a very interesting ink here. The ink I'm using is, oops, sorry about that. The ink I am using is Diamine Aurora Borealis. Now this ink has a wonderful sheen to it and works really well in different sorts of paper. In this particular paper I'm using Tomo River. I'm using Tomo River, pardon me. And some scribbles with the pen flows beautifully, and The price is also pretty decent. Some would say a bit expensive for a steel nibbed pen, but frankly, I don't care. It writes better than some of my gold nibbed pens. And of course, Lamy's tradition of working with famous designers continues with this pen when it was first made, and this was designed by Hans Wettstein. He was a Swiss designer. I believe he's passed away. But he's also done, incidentally, in case you were curious, he's also designed the Lamy Scribble mechanical pencil. I don't know if you've seen that, but do look it up if you haven't. Otherwise, I'll just put a photograph of the pencil. And this is a limited edition pen. I believe it came out in 2019. And I really think Lamy should do more of these pens, you know, in the studio line with the script section. I know they do a few studios once a year, maybe, but I wish they would do more with this line. Right, let's do a writing sample. Just zoom in a little bit for you. And here we have of course very wet, and this ink has a wonderful sheen. I'm sure you've noticed. If you haven't, let me just show you there. As you can see, lovely sheen. And of course, this being Tomo River, it's very reactive to ink, and it brings out the best in the ink. The wetness and flow is also very consistent. Quite like it. This is the Lamy Studio in LX, all black version. Sorry about that. All right. Let's now take a look at how this pen writes on some cheaper paper that you would probably encounter in your daily life, in case you don't have access to fountain pen friendly paper. And it's all right. Let's post it and do it this time, and let's do the good old fox. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Alright, that's not bad. I think the pen and the ink have been handled pretty well by this cheap paper. Of course, you won't see any properties like sheen, etc. on this particular paper, but I can just see a little bit of shading over here. Not bad for a cheap paper, if you ask me. All right, so this was the Lamy Studio, and I hope you're all doing well. And do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps out a lot. And take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next review. Bye-bye.